walked over to the president, who was a few feet away with Secretary of Education Rod Page, shaking hands with staff and teachers outside the school, and passed on the information. I was the first to tell him the news. He nodded, shot me a quizzical look, and said, "Get more details." We both thought it an odd, tragic accident.
Thank you, Willie Vaden. There's a young man that's holding a flag over here to my left, your right. It's my understanding that he's going to be deployed, going back to Iraq to fight for us. I want to thank you, son. God bless you. And tell everybody else we thank you. When you get over there, you let them know that we're thinking about you. And we honor you and we thank you. And may God protect you. And excuse me, but kick their ass. Ladies and gentlemen, another gentleman, you love him, we all love him, Mr. Willie Vaden.
Y'all been a little late. There was a charity golf tournament today, and I committed to it, and it got off a little late, but we raised a bunch of money for some scholarships for kids there in Ingleside, and Ingleside on the bank. One thing, where things got to stay, if you're divided in half, this side over here don't pay taxes, and this side does. That's basically what we've got down to, and that's what you're here about. You want to put a stop to it. But another thing you want to do is you want to put a stop to the demeaning of America and what we stand for. Even our soldiers don't know what to do, you know, open gaze in the military. That's one of the key things for me. I really looked at the commandant's face when the president looked down and he talked about it. And if looks could kill, unfortunately the president wouldn't be with us today, because that's one thing as Marines most people don't know. The gender gap hasn't hit the Marine Corps. We train separately. There are no men and women serving together. We bunk different, you know, separate. They don't have co-things, but we don't really appreciate open gays in the military. Even in Vietnam, I knew there were gays in the military, but they kept quiet about it. You know, they were good men, and they went out and some of them gave their lives. But one of the things I wanted to speak about today is this San Patricia County is faced with something. You are the goose with the golden egg right now, and you folks out here and over in Ingleside and Ransom Pass and Portland, all of San Pat County, what we got to do is watch that bunch over there trying to come over here and take what we got, because we are so unique. You look around here and look at what we got. I remember Bahia Azul when I used to polish brass on boats out here back in the 70s. Used to jump off the old hotel they had out there, you know, when the canal was clean way back in them days, and how we've grown and adapted and how we went down and came back. But we didn't ask anybody for anything. How many of you here were with Celia? Remember that? There wasn't nothing. There was no government. There was no nothing. We did it ourselves. We joined together and we fed each other and we took care of each other. I remember making trips to San Antonio to get gas and ice and bringing it in. And that's what we as a group, as a community, can do. And it's the same thing. There's two gentlemen here, and I'd like to recognize. Well, there's actually three. Todd Hunter, he's going to get elected because he's just going to do it. He's that popular. But James Duerr over there, man, had put up a great fight for Congress. And Blake Farenthold, the last time I got my ass whooped this bad was in high school. Okay? And Ortiz has never done it, but these two gentlemen did it. And what it did, it proved. You know, we have come forward. We've done good things, and we began to wake up to say, Ortiz can't hurt us. He can't hurt us. Now we've got a candidate that's going to go forward and just going to kick his butt all the way back to the Rio Grande Valley. But what you're going to have to do, you know, and talking with Blake and James, and of course the election's over and it's going to prevail. All the money in the world can't do it. It's going to take you, the people. Because each one of you got 10 fingers, and when you go, you want to have a little hand on each one. Is another voter going to vote? Because that's what's going to take this back for us here in South Texas. Ortiz can be beat. We've proven it. We know it. His own people don't even like him anymore. And I'm not talking about Hispanics or blacks or whites. I'm talking about Democrats. They don't even like him. The conservative movement is so great and so strong. Wendy Herman and I had the pleasure of meeting Deborah Johns and some of the people with the National Tea Party and a bunch of combat veterans out in California. This movement is bigger than all of us. They're going to try to destroy it, though. They're going to try to make you out to be somebody that you're not. You're Americans. And on top of that, most of you are Texans. And when you look at that, that makes you just higher and greater and better than anybody. James was a Boy Scout. I passed him up and joined the Marine Corps. So I want to thank y'all. Let's hear what they got to say. Welcome them. Show them a little Ingleside, San Patricio County, whatever you want to call it. You know, hospitality, that's a good word for it. I really thank you.
Series of speakers. It's one thing that I wanted to share with you, and this is the way I feel. Ran across this poem and I put it to a little song, but that's okay. I won't bore you with the music. Ladies and gentlemen, you ask me why I love her. Well, give me time and I'll explain. Have you seen a Kansas sunset or an Arizona rain? Have you drifted on a bayou down Louisiana way? Have you watched a cold fog drifting over the San Francisco Bay? Have you heard a bobwhite calling in the Carolina pines, or heard the bellow of a diesel in the Appalachia mines? Does the call of the Niagara thrill you when you hear her waters roar? Do you look in awe and wonder at her Massachusetts shore, where men who braved a hard new world first stepped on Plymouth's rock? And do you think of them when you stroll along New York City's dock? Have you seen a snowflake drifting in the Rockies way up high? Have you seen the sun come blazing down from a bright Nevada sky? Do you hail the Columbia as she rushes to the sea, or bow your head at Gettysburg for our struggle to be free? Have you seen the mighty Tetons? Have you watched an eagle soar? Have you seen the Mississippi roll along Missouri's shore? Have you felt a chill at Michigan when on a winter's day her waters rage along the shore in a thunderous display? Does the word aloha make you warm? Do you share in disbelief when the surf comes roaring at Waimea Reef? From Alaska's cold to the Everglades, from the Rio Grande to Maine, my heart cries out, my pulse runs fast at the might of her domain. You ask me why I love her? I have a million reasons why. My beautiful, beautiful America, under God's wide, wide sky.